So, funny thing that happened. So I went to record this video, and I started getting the hiccups, which normally isn't a big deal. They're the hiccups, you know, what's the worst thing that can happen with the hiccups? Yeah, I got the freaking hiccups, and they lasted a solid 10 minutes. I thought I was gonna die. And I'm afraid if I move at all right now, I'm just gonna start hiccuping and hiccuping and hiccuping, and then I'll never be able to play. Oh man, I'm just so out of it. So today's episode, man, today's video is gonna be about how to play the Trapper, and I think I'm gonna make a series out of this. How to play all the killers effectively and efficiently. I'm gonna start off with the Trapper because that's what comes base with any game, no matter what you get, and especially mobile. That's the first killer you play, and that's the first killer you have access to. Why not learn how to play him? So I do not have Trapper leveled up, so I'll level him up. And its 3 perks are Agitation, Brutal Strength, Unnerving Presence, and I'm probably gonna add some more to try to make him a little beefier. So yeah. Alright, so I'm going to be running Agitation, Barbecue, and Chili, just because this is the best perk you can have in the entire game, and Agitation just because that's what I have right now. For the power, it really doesn't matter what you put on them. Some things make it really flippin' good, and then other things don't do much, like this. Bear traps do not inflict damage to trap players. Do you really need that? No, of course you don't. Just avoid this one in particular. If you see it in your blood web, you can pick it up. It really doesn't matter all that much. Just if you can have this or a strong spring coil spring, man, I'm just so bad today. Or Trapper gloves, they're on the same level in terms of rarity. Might as well go with one of these. I'm gonna put on Trapper gloves because why not? I have 5 of them, and I don't use Trapper very often. I'm gonna put on one of these. You should always put on a blood point offering, just because you get so many. Leveling up, I literally leveled him up to level 8 just right now, and I have all these right here are offerings I just got. So if it's somebody you're leveling up, or even not, just put on these, and it doesn't really matter the category you put on there. I mean, if you have a killer that's not really good at something, yes, put on these, but for most killers, it doesn't really matter. So we're going to hop into a game. It's probably going to take 10 years, but... Oh. So basically, the thing you're trying to do as Trapper is to set up either a late game or a 3 generator strat. And I know many of y'all are new to the game, maybe not sure what that means. But the 3 generator strat is generators spawn in certain places, in certain maps. Right? There are select places they spawn. They don't always spawn in those places every single time, but they have to spawn in some of them. You know, there are 5 generators, way more than 5. You only need 5. But there are these set locations that they spawn, and some are a lot closer than others. So if you can keep 3 generators really close together and not really worry too much about the other ones, then they are forced to have to do 3 generators that are really close, and you can just patrol the 3 generators. It is known as the 3 generator strat, or the 3 gen strat, and it is used a lot by killers and trying to... Ooh, excuse me, I just burped. And survivors trying to avoid it as much as possible. Okay, so this map is actually pretty decent for Trapper. The only thing that kind of sucks for him is if this window's open, which it is. So you want to set a trap right here. Just because this is an area that they go a lot, they're going to tend to try to want to jump in that window, or they're going to want to run through that doorway. But As you can see, I am so good at this game. So putting traps there and at this killer shack right here is going to be the best move for you. But Trapper, one of the better things about him, I don't know where this dude was. One of the better things about... Yeah, I was like, I can hear you, but I don't know where you're at. Throw that. No. That'll catch you there. Yeah. Trapping pallets, also a really good way. Trapping generators. It's not the best, but people do it. It seems to work out for them. But this window right here is the best trap in the entire game. Especially at higher ranks. Surely because it makes this right here, this killer shack, impossible for people to use. And that's why I set that trap up over there. Someone ran into the trap and now they're stuck. And I get a free basement. Which is amazing because there's a spot down here that is really good for the trapper as well. For basement, if you can, try to hook on the back hook. And this trap right here. Just about. Anywhere along this wall, because that's where survivors are more prone to go. Alright. They did get that generator done. They have not gotten that other person off the hook. So this is looking like a game in the bag for me. Ooh, yep. Oh, I thought that was this dude. Well, I guess I gotta go back unless I saw stretch marks. I did not. I'm an idiot. But blocking off that window would be acceptable as well. Where are you? Oh, there are scratch marks. This probably indicates where they are. Unless you're a potato like me. Putting a trap here. Just to block off that pallet. If they don't save that dude off the hook, that trap I placed was, I mean, considered useless, but in actuality, what it does is, that's why you put that there. That is the exact reason right there, is because the, idiot, they'll try to run that loop. You can't run that loop at all. If they let that dude die. So this is pretty much in the bag for me, unless I keep swinging like that. Now, a little bit of a rookie mistake is trapping survivors. That's something you can do, but something I never recommend, just because it's almost wasting your traps, because it's kind of hard to think about. But if a survivor needs to get that person, what they're going to do is either disarm the trap if you're far away, or they're going to just move around the trap. And if you make it so they can't move around said trap, well, you're going to be wasting, number one, a lot of your time trying to place that trap, and they're either not going to pick that dude up off the hook, which can be good, or what they're going to do is something you absolutely do not want them to do, and they're just going to move around your traps. Like, there's no way to, now at least, to hook a survivor and place a trap so where they have to step in it, and now you have 2 or 1 trap on the ground, right, that can't be used anymore because they're right by a hook, and traps right by a hook are Bad news bears. Because that means you can't use the hook, because if you step in your bear trap with a survivor on your shoulder... Ooh. That's why you trap pallets. Trapping pallets... the better ways. Hey! You fell for that. But you'll learn exactly how to do it. How to trap, what to trap. But in all actuality, it's not as hard as you think it is. Just don't camp hooks and try not to trap hooks. Trapping hooks is really, really bad for you because it makes the hook unusable. I doubt they're going to be going that way. Yep. One of the unspoken rules in this game is to, is to not go for the person who just got unhooked, but instead go for the person who just saved. It's an unspoken rule, just simply because people think it makes you, it's called tunneling, and it's frowned upon in the community. But you placing a trap right there, they're pretty easy to see, they're pretty easy to spot. So there's going to be no reason for a survivor to go over there if they know that there's a trap. They're not going to run right into your trap, unless they're stupid. Where are you? Oh man, you are running far away. She'd let herself go. So, jump through that. Or don't. But now that loop right there is useless. We're gonna try to jump up in there. Alright. Yeah, that's not gonna work. Very well for you. She's either gonna loop. Oh, she's just gonna loop this right here. Dang. I thought she was gonna run that right up with the bat. But putting traps, if that trap wasn't there, or that trap right there, that chase would have taken a lot longer. But placing traps also means that you cannot use those areas either. So that's something you want to be mindful of. And if you step in your own trap, not really good news for you. So the hatch is over this way, so I'm just going to run over there and close it, even though I know where he is. Getting in the habit of searching and closing the hatch. Unless I don't know where it is. No idea. And then endgames collapse, trap the exit gates. You can pretty much trap these to where it's impossible for them to get it. Yeah, see? So he needs to he needs to disarm the trap in order to use it. Book it to the other one. I don't know if he can open that yet. Because I know he was right over here. Oh, he's sure as heck trying. Ooh, yeah, that was kind of close. I knew he was over here. I just wanted to show that off. Trapping hook, okay. A little review. Trapping hooks, bad. Don't want to do that. Trap pallets, loop, like any loop. Anything that you think that'll be used against you, especially like big buildings, like that's an infinite. It's called an infinite for a reason, and this is considered a God loop. That right over there. I trapped this, I trapped that, so basically they're completely blocked off, and their survivors are either forced to step in your traps or into you. At the end game, trap one of the exit gates, run to the other one, as long as you're close to them. He was right by the exit gate. As soon as I did that, he was right next to it. So I was able to get to a door, place my trap down, and then run over to him and still down him. So it's Trapper, he's really easy. He's considered an easy killer. His perks aren't that hard to understand. It's just there's a difference between a good trapper and a bad trapper. You want to trap windows, loops, doors, or exit gates and doorways. Not the basement. You can trap, just make sure you don't step in that trap or else it'll screw you over. But also make sure you do not, under any circumstances, trap the survivors that are on a hook, because it'll just pan out bad for you. Alright, well, I hope this is very informative and y'all like this kind of stuff. If you do, I'll make more for different killers. If you really want a certain killer, suggest it in the comments. I read all of them. So, yeah, I hope you found this informative, whether it's for the Trapper or for any other killers, especially doing the offering thing. Yeah, well, make sure you smash that like button. Man, I can't even say that with a straight face. Alright, well, y'all know my outro for this entire quarantine thing. Stay home, stay healthy, stay safe.